Hello there folks, my name is Spoonks and welcome back to another episode of Box Office Chat. This is the show where I break down the top 5 domestic box office results, see where each movie landed, and see how well each movie did, so let's get started. Number 5 was Tron Ares, making $4.9 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $63 million and its worldwide total to $123 million. Yeah, Tron Ares still struggling a bit. It did bounce back after last weekend, but still a 56% drop. It's nowhere near anywhere it should be, really. Still a really big disappointment, and looks like it's going to be a pretty big flop again. $180 million budget. It's not remotely close. It's getting there, but I shouldn't specify. It's not close to doubling that, is what I should say. It might get to the initial production budget if it's really lucky, but we're about to head into November where there's a lot of big tentpole blockbuster movies coming out, and that's definitely going to hurt it going forward. And again, it just really needed to have a bigger audience, maybe that Tron Legacy audience, but unfortunately it just didn't seem to have it. The word of mouth has not been helping out. The interest was low. Altogether, this is going to be a pretty big disappointment for the studio. Don't see any other way around it, unfortunately. Number 4 was Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, opening with $8.8 million this weekend domestically and $15 million worldwide. So I bet on the wrong horse last weekend. I thought, Bruce Springsteen, the acclaim that Jeremy Allen White was getting, and the music biopic craze that's been going on, I thought those would contribute to a much stronger opening. I thought there was more interest with this movie for the older audience than there was, and clearly I was living in my own reality. I thought this movie would do way better, but clearly everything that I thought would work for this movie worked against it. There clearly wasn't as much interest as I thought there was. I thought the marketing was there, but I guess I was the only one who saw the marketing push for this movie, and this was it was not what A Complete Unknown or Bob Marley One Love was to a lot of people. It just didn't really wow as many people as I thought it would, and it didn't get many people to go and check out the film. Many people were rather disappointed or felt the movie was really lackluster. Critics were pretty mixed. Last I checked, it was in the 60% range, so not bad but not great either, and audiences weren't too enthusiastic about the film either. It got a B+ on CinemaScore, not great for again, a much more older skewering film that you would want the word of mouth to really kick in, like what they were hoping for Roofman, which didn't really turn out well with them. And with a budget of $55 million, this movie is it's gonna need a lot of help. Who knows, maybe the movie will catch its audience, find its audience somehow, but I doubt it'll be anytime soon. Again, really low opening for Springsteen here. Number 3 was The Black Phone 2, making $12 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $48 million and its worldwide total to $80 million. So The Black Phone 2 held pretty well, all things considered, despite a very crowded weekend at the box office. And what we've seen with most horror sequels this year, they have really strong openings but then plummet. This actually held modestly well for a horror film, only dropping 52% from last weekend. The word of mouth is still very strong, and again, it's still spooky season, although it is almost over, but people are still in the mood to watch a good old horror movie, and this is the main attraction, it seems, for this month. And because of that, it's going to triple the initial $30 million budget worldwide, and it's also going to get to $100 million worldwide very soon. That's all good, said and done, and it's got at least one more weekend of spooky season, as this Friday is Halloween, so I'm sure there will be people eager to see it, at least to end things off on a high note for spooky season. It will be interesting to see where the movie heads after that, because, well, we all know what happens when Halloween comes and goes. But again, it looks like this is going to be the only major horror movie out until Five Nights at Freddy's in December, so there's a good chance we may see this movie stick around for a while because of that. Still a very solid weekend for The Black Phone 2. It continues to be a very successful film, especially for Blumhouse, given the year they've had. Number 2 was Regretting You, hey, that rhymed, opening with $13 million this weekend domestically and $23 million worldwide. So it's clear that this was not another It Ends With Us, despite being based off of a book by the same author. I think some people were hoping it would be at least somewhat similar to that, this best-selling book by this beloved author that would, take the world by storm, but unfortunately it just wasn't that. I saw the marketing push, but I didn't see the interest or hype that I saw with It Ends With Us, so that kind of held back my expectations. And even though it didn't reach those heights, I'd still say it's a decent opening given the $30 million budget. It's already made a majority of that worldwide. It'll make it back by the end of the week, I'm sure. So, and again, it's one of the few rom-coms out right now, so maybe it'll stand out. But again, we're heading into November. There's going to be a lot of competition, and it's going to really need word of mouth to get it to at least, being somewhat successful. And that's going to be debatable because people have been very divisive, to say the least, on this movie. The critic reviews, oh goodness, they are not good, let me tell you. Last I checked, it was like at 17%, which audiences are liking it a bit better though, but still not great. It got a B on Cinema Score, so we'll see how the word of mouth carries out throughout the rest of its theatrical run. Again, it's not like it's an expensive movie, it's not Springsteen or anything, but this is still definitely far from what It Ends With Us was able to accomplish so long ago, so gonna be interesting. I'd still say it's a decent solid opening, but I'm very curious to see where this movie ends up down the road. And finally, let's end the video off with the number one movie of the weekend, which was Chainsaw Man ResArk, opening with $18 million this weekend domestically, and since it's already been released internationally, it adds to a worldwide total of $108 million. So I didn't talk about this movie much last week because, again, I just had more confidence and faith in Springsteen, whereas with this movie, I thought it would do really well, but I just had way more faith in Springsteen. And I was wrong. I've admitted I was wrong. As this movie clearly took over. Again, this is like Demon Slayer, though not to that degree. It's a beloved anime with a huge fan base. A lot of the fans were really excited and hyped to go check it out. They did a lot to promote the movie. Again, it's released internationally and it's done gangbusters overseas. Another solid movie opening for a film based off of a very successful anime. As I've said many times before, especially with when they expand and explode to this degree, not so necessarily Demon Slayer, but to this extent, don't expect the best legs. These tend to be very, very front loaded. They crush it on their first weekend and then plummet afterwards. I have a feeling this is gonna be the same with this one, but this is still a mighty impressive opening considering how crowded the weekend was. It was facing off against movies based off beloved Colleen Hoover books and movies based off of Bruce Springsteen, and this was the one to top the box office. Still really impressive and obviously worth celebrating over, especially if you're a fan of the show, which many of the fans saw the film and really enjoyed it. Critics have been loving it. Last I checked, it was at 99%, so good on you, Chainsaw Man. And it got an A on Cinema Score. So clearly people are satisfied with the movie. People are enjoying this a lot. It had a very successful opening weekend. Not much more else to say here. And those were the top 5 domestic box office results for this weekend, and normally this would be the part of the video where I discuss the upcoming new wide releases and seeing where they would land in the top 5, but given the fact that it is Halloween this weekend, and before I continue, I just want to say I hope you all have a safe and happy Halloween. Hope you eat plenty of candy, not too much candy. Hope you all have fun out there with your creative and wonderful costumes, but as is typical with Halloween on the weekend, not too many people go to the movies. They're busy with their Halloween plans, so don't expect big numbers this weekend, especially considering that the biggest new movies coming out are re-releases of K-pop Demon Hunters and Back to the Future, so not going to be anything special or spectacular. There'll be shakeups in the top 5, but again, nothing too out of the ordinary or unexpected here. But we'll see how well the movies that land in the top 5 truly do, and where they land in the top 5 on the next Box Office Chat. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Box Office Chat. What did you all think of the results? Were you satisfied, unsatisfied? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on all the social media links right there. And until next time, everyone, stay sharp.